Hi everyone, my name's Adrian Wickham. I work for and a partner for a company called Oracle Solicitors and Consultants, and we're an international law firm. We have offices in Belfast, Frankfurt, where I am today, London, and also in Milan, and we have a shared office in St. Petersburg. I started off very much on the ground. I started off working as a paper boy, and always had about 2 or 3 paper rounds for some reason, because I wanted the money, to be fair, and always wanted to work hard. And earning the money and doing something different was something that I really pushed up on myself when I was 12 or 13. And I think that's probably what gave me a kind of work ethic that I have today. I went to school, but I left when I was 15 years old. My birthday is on the 26th of August, and we finished school at 16. I left because I had a job. I had working experience in the HSBC Bank, and they offered me a job straight away. And then I also applied for a job and took an aptitude test for the Prudential, and they offered me a job. Prudential was offering about £20 more a month back then, so I went for the Prudential and worked there for 12 months. And I wanted to go back to college. I noticed as I sat around me, there were lots of people that had degrees and had very high education levels, and they were no more clever than I was, but they had this certificate, and they were earning a lot more money at the time as well. But they always encouraged me to go and have some more education. I left, went back to college, back there, a BTEC in business. And as I just completed that, I've done my first full-time job at 19. I worked there for about 6 years. And again, I liked learning, I liked education, I really enjoyed working. I think one of the key things about working is you have to enjoy it. Find something that you enjoy, because it's not like going to work every single day. So I worked in a green industry initially and enjoyed the people, enjoyed the work, and began to realise that I wanted to become in the management field. In the evenings, and this is the hard way of doing it, in the evenings I went and studied, and I went and got a certificate in management, which was a supervisory certificate. I then left and continued and got a new job. It's still in the same industry, and started to promote myself through that. A lot of it was going to school in the evenings. Again, it was enjoyable, but it was difficult. You're working during the day and then going to school in the evenings. So I didn't learn, or I didn't go through my senior education by going to university. Having seen my son go to university, I would have liked to have gone there. He looked like that. He had one of the most enjoyable times of his life while he was there. But I took a very difficult route, which was working and learning at the same time. As I developed and I've worked through my organisations, I did start on the ground, shall we say, or at the bottom rung of the ladder, and slowly but surely worked my way up. A lot of it was because I enjoyed my work, so I was always enthusiastic. I wasn't always on time, but I always was the last one to leave work at the end of the day. And I always done extra, always done that little bit more. I would always try and think of how can I do it that much better than I could do the day before or the day before that. How can I be more efficient in the way that I worked? So I was always looking again at productivity when I was very young, and that was down to me being about 24 at the time. I grew with my organisation, and they offered me lots of promotions, but in different parts of the UK. So for me, again, every position I went to work, if it was in Bournemouth, or if it was in a place called Havering, or if it was in Epsom, which is so close to you guys, or if it was in Lewisham or Tower Hamlets or Redbridge, I was always able to move around. As part of my development, I went through the supervisory level at my work. I then went through the management level. I then was promoted through to the senior management level, to director level, and then moved on to the managing director of the organisation, which I really enjoyed. I've then since moved, and I am an owner, partner of a law firm which was a different industry, completely different industry. One of the other things about being a director is having the respect and appreciation of your staff, and that's not given to you very easily. You certainly have to earn it, but you have to be good and you have to lead by example. And you also have to be able to know the work, to know the job. I would absolutely encourage anybody in their future, if they wanted to be a director of their own company, I would absolutely want them to, it's a very responsible role. You have the responsibility of many people. You have to ensure that these people are paid on time, that they're able to go home and look after their families, which is a huge responsibility. So it's just not your employees, it's their families and their friends and their network that you also have to ensure that your company survives and is successful for them, okay, not only for yourself. We also have a responsibility to yourself to improve, to always look to go further. I continued my education and went to university. I eventually got there and completed my Masters of Business, which opened up my mind immensely to the business world. Within management, you do learn lots of skills, business skills. So it can be finance. It's always looking at strategy. It could be looking at human resources. It could be looking at productivity. It could be looking at machinery and equipment. It could be looking at transport. It could be looking at the environment. But it's an all-encompassing role, which makes it so interesting. Speaking to new people, finding new contacts, going to new places. And as I've grown and as I've developed in my role now, I'm now dealing with different cultures, going to different countries, which is in itself a learning experience, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. Working hours of a director are not 9 to 5, certainly not. They can be 5 a.m. in the morning till midnight and beyond. You can go away, which is one of the things, away from your family, away from your home, and that could be for a number of days and sometimes weeks. But it's the reason you do it is for the enjoyment of the role and the satisfaction of getting the role working and getting the job working, or getting the project in itself working the way that you need it to. It's not easy, and it can be long, and there's an old saying that it's lonely at the top, and it can be very lonely at the top, but it can also be very rewarding. What is a typical working day? There isn't a typical working day as a director or a business owner. Every day can be different. There are some habits that I would certainly make sure that everybody tries to do. One of them is to wake up with a smile and to ensure that you have breakfast, most important meal of the day. But once you get to the office, there could be anything that lands across your desk. But with that, you do have to have structure. So we have structured meetings. I ensure that I have a structured meeting with the team. That will be certainly a monthly meeting, a structured meeting with the finance team. Again, that would be a monthly meeting. As we build up some of our parameters, if it's finance or if it's the productivity team or if it's the IT team, we will speak about those generally on an every other day basis. But it's the other things that happen between the day, and those are the unknowns, and those are the things that you have to be able to deal with very quickly and very promptly. It may not be the resolution of the problem, but you have to really pick them up and start dealing with them. It could be from a HR issue, a positive HR issue. Somebody may have performed extremely well, and you want to tell them that they've performed extremely well. Very easy to tell people off, but it's also very easy to encourage people. And as the director, you have to motivate and encourage your team. It could be that we had an incident. There may have been a loss or a theft, or in the case of law, a new case that had come in that we wasn't as successful as we wanted to be on it. Or it's a very difficult case and things may have been protracted or pushed forwards. All of these things will come across your desk. There's always the enjoyable business development element as well, which sounds fantastic when you win the work, but the work that goes into it prior, the writing, the completion of the forms, the ensuring that you get through stage 1, 2, or 3 of the procurement process. Those are the things that you have to ensure that you complete within your normal working day, or what could be called a normal working day. You won't get a tender every single day of the week, so your working day will always change. As a director, you don't do the work every single day yourself. You have a team, and you have to really keep that team motivated. Some of the books that I've read, there's lots and lots of business books. If it's about strategic management, if it's about financial strategy, if it's about accounting and finance, human resources, there's fantastic books about futures and foresight, about what the future may hold, and if you wanted to invest or manage in those particular areas. There's a really good book that I've enjoyed. It's called The Chimp Paradox, which is about how you are as a person, feeling less anxious. You have to remember, as a director, you probably have to look like the coolest person ever, but inside you're not always the coolest person ever, because you are speaking to people about subjects that you're not too familiar with. You may be doing a presentation in front of 100 or 50 people, but this book really helps you calm yourself. It's about sports. It's used by a lot of top sportsmen, footballers and cyclists, and athletes, to help them calm and have their mind focused on the job in front of them. An absolutely fantastic book, which I really enjoyed, and I've gone back and read several times. Advice to be a director. One is, start something and finish it. It's really important that you have that mindset. I'm sure if it was a Snicker bar or something that you wouldn't leave half of it on the side. You'll start it and finish it, and that's what you want to be about your work, and in fact anything that you do. Certainly through your education, start a course and finish a course. If you see something that you really enjoy, an area of work that you really enjoy, which may be I enjoy being outside, or it may be I enjoy IT, then that's the area that you should certainly look at in your day-to-day work. Something that gives you that, because working, you have to do it for many years, so you may as well enjoy it, and it really can be very rewarding when you're working on something that you're passionate about. Once you find that thing that you're passionate about, you will be the expert in it. And once you are the expert in it, you can certainly lead and grow it yourself. The other advice as a director is just to be open to learning and to listening to people. It's one of the most enjoyable things, actually. Every day is a lesson, and you'll meet so many people, and just listen. Listening is an art, and it's something that not everybody's very good at. But just take the time and listen. You don't always have to say something. You don't always have to answer. So a lot of the time, just let people speak and take in as much information as you possibly can. I'd absolutely encourage anybody to become a manager of their own business. I'd absolutely encourage people to not be scared and to challenge themselves. You can do it, and it's fantastic fun.